Tissues burn when Theo blows, so Puffs Plus lotion rescued his nose. With up to 50% more lotion, Puffs brings soothing relief. A nose in need deserves Puffs Indeed, America's #1 lotion tissue.
And it's easy to get a quote at libertymutual.com, so you only pay for what you need. Isn't that right, Limu? Limu? Sorry, one sec. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Her waterworks are so aggressive.
Yeah. Join us Monday for our American Idol exclusive. Plus, only we've got Michael B. Jordan's on-set bloopers with director Denzel Washington.
The baby said.
Happening now.
I'm Dylan Collier. The Medina Valley School District calls complaints against its athletic director rumors and unsubstantiated allegations. We have the records showing that is not the case. That's coming up.
Parent alert about some popular infant formulas, including powdered Similac. Coming up, why the FDA is investigating and how you can check your child's formula.
A cool night tonight, and then get ready for another wild temperature ride. We'll see you in a bit to talk about it. The News at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, allegations of concerning behavior continue to follow Medina Valley's athletic director and head football coach.
Members of the community have accused Lee Crisp of a wide range of incidents. They range from leaving behind a football player at an away game to making fun of another player's speech impediment.
Records uncovered by our Dylan Collier show how Crisp was promoted to high-ranking positions in Medina Valley, despite previously failing a state drug test in connection with his commercial driver's license.
If that's true, you have failed this community.
Medina Valley Independent School District's board meeting was full of tense moments last month as a flurry of complaints against head football coach and athletic director Lee Crisp were brought into the light.
You have the power to end this. You have the power to stop this here, because we will not stop.
January 1st, this letter signed by more than 50 community members detailed the allegations that Crisp appeared to be under the influence at several school functions, that he refused to allow a football player to ride home with the team following a game in Lockhart in October, that he made fun of another player's lisp at back-to-back practices last fall, and that he had rose to his prominent positions despite failing a drug screening. Days after the board meeting, a Medina Valley spokeswoman told KSAT the district does not comment on rumors or unsubstantiated allegations. But in the coach's own 2019 application for athletic director and head football coach, he admitted to failing a TxDOT drug test, writing that he took medication without a prescription.
To be able to come out and get after it and, coach, that's what it's all about.
A concerning concession from Crisp when you consider those same records show he had a commercial driver's license with a school bus endorsement. Sources say Crisp no longer drives athletes to and from events. Jeremy and O. Rash, whose son overcame a speech impediment to become a 2-year starting quarterback for Medina Valley, said Crisp targeting him has wrecked their child's confidence.
And to just be torn down by somebody that you look up to, it's very disappointing.
Frustration has turned from Crisp, who we're told was placed on leave last month, to district administration, which hasn't said publicly what, if anything, its investigation found.
Well, they're still using that good old boy system that they've been using for years, and I think they're just, a lot of them are very close-minded.
Sources familiar with the situation say Crisp was returned to work this week, even though some potential witnesses listed in the January letter were not interviewed. The Medina Valley School Board is scheduled to meet Monday night. It's not known whether his employment is up for official discussion.
That's all I need to say. Thanks.
For the defenders, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
Crisp did not respond to a phone call seeking comment on this story. Records show a letter sent to a school board member as far back as August accused Crisp of drinking during school hours, but a source says no action was taken. The Texas Education Agency has been made aware of several complaints against Coach Crisp. In a statement, a spokesperson tells us, quote, there is currently no investigatory flag on the educator in question. TEA has received several complaints related to Medina Valley ISD. Those complaints are currently being reviewed to determine what next steps, if any, are necessary.
A brush fire we showed you first at 5 yesterday in South Bexar County, now considered to be arson. It burned through several acres, but it also burned through several homes in the area. The question now is, why would someone intentionally set that fire? Take a look at the video we first showed you yesterday on the news at 5. The fire starting around 3 o'clock along Sea Spray. It's an unincorporated part of Bexar County. Multiple homes had to be evacuated as a precaution, and several fire departments joined the fight. It wasn't until about 8 p.m. that people were allowed back inside their homes. Altogether, the fire burned about 30 acres, 2 mobile homes, and 1 RV. The Bexar County Fire Marshal's office is now investigating.
And speaking of fires, 3 families without their homes after a fast-spreading fire around 9:30 this morning here in town. We've just learned some of them are without their puppies as well tonight. San Antonio Fire Chief Charles Hood says the flames started at 1 home on Elvira Street, then spread to 2 more. All 8 people inside the homes made it out safely. Animal Care Services called in to help find some missing pets. They say they did find 4 dogs, but 4 puppies died in those fires. Chief Hood credits timing for preventing a bad situation from becoming any worse.
You can imagine last night when we had 30-mile-an-hour winds, if this fire would have happened last night, we'd have probably burned this whole block down.
By the way, the cause of this fire is under investigation.
A space heater to blame for a fire on the west side just before noon today. It happened along Spear Street, not too far from Casterville Road. Firefighters say that there was a camping tent that went up in flames, and they believe people were using the space heater that was near it. No one was hurt and no homes were damaged.
He was behind the wheel the night 19-year-old Jasmine Cassiano died. More than 2 months later, Ernest Rodriguez indicted for intoxication manslaughter. That crash happened back on November 30th. Investigators accused Rodriguez of driving drunk and crashing into a tree along Shane Road near Loop 410. That's on the south side. Rodriguez pinned in the vehicle, but he survived. Cassiano, who was a passenger, did not. If convicted, Rodriguez faces up to 20 years in prison and a fine of up to $10,000.
We have an important parent alert about some popular infant formulas. Abbott Nutrition now recalling some powdered formulas after reports of 4 babies becoming very sick. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz now on how to check your containers. Plus, she has more details on 2 more baby products being pulled from the market, too.
Before you make the baby's formula, an urgent recall of some powdered Similac, Alimentum, and Elecare. The FDA is investigating 4 infant infections, including one in Texas and including 1 death that may be linked to the formula from Abbott's Sturgis, Michigan plant. To check yours, look at the bottom of the container. If the code starts with digits 22 through 37 and contains KH, SH, or Z2, and has an expiration date of April 1st, throw it out. If you need help checking your formula, Abbott has set up this page to do just that. We have a link to it on our website. Is this your baby's walker? Safety regulators say infants can be seriously hurt or killed. Zeno is recalling these walkers because they don't meet standards. They can fit through a standard doorway and don't stop at the edge of a step as required. Also, a baby can slip through the leg opening, trapping his head. Contact Zeno for a refund. And stroller danger. Valco Baby is recalling Snap Duo Trend strollers after 200 reports of the front wheels cracking or coming off in use. Contact the company for new parts. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And now we move to Minnesota, where former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter sentenced for the fatal shooting of Daunte Wright during a traffic stop last April.
Potter learning that she will spend 16 months in prison and 8 more on supervised release. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter learning her fate in court Friday in the fatal shooting of Daunte Wright.
You shall be committed to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 24 months.
The judge saying Potter will spend 16 of those months in prison, the rest on supervised release.
This has been an extremely difficult decision. This is one of the saddest cases I've had on my 20 years on the bench.
The sentence a downward departure, the judge saying prosecutors did not meet the burden of proof for the 7 years of prison time they were asking for. The defense asked for a probationary sentence, saying her mental health was already suffering in prison.
Kim Potter murdered my son, and he died April 11th. Today, the justice system murdered him all over again.
Earlier, Potter taking the stand in tears.
I am so sorry that I brought the death of your son, and I am sorry I broke your heart.
A jury found the 26-year police veteran guilty of first and second-degree manslaughter for shooting and killing Wright during this traffic stop last April. Potter saying she mistook her gun for her taser.
And I'll never be able to forgive you for what you've stolen from us. Dante's smile was genuine and big, just like his dreams. You took this. You took his future.
Body camera video shows the fatal moments unfold. The judge says she considered multiple factors while making her decision, saying she believed Potter made a tragic mistake and has shown extreme remorse. She reiterated that this downgraded sentence does not diminish Dante Wright's life. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Checking in on the local COVID-19 numbers. Metro Health reporting 280 new cases and 11 more deaths. And the 7-day average now at 572.
There are 532 COVID patients in the hospital. Those numbers also continue to drop. 137 in the intensive care units and 77 are on ventilators.
Just as several states lift their COVID-19 mask mandates, there are some concerning new findings about a sub-variant of the Omicron variant. It's called BA2. The subvariant has already been detected in 47 states, and there are worries that it could spread faster and cause more severe disease. The findings coming from a new lab experiment in Japan. It has not been peer-reviewed.
We are certainly watching this BA.2. This is the sublineage of Omicron, because it is showing some kind of level of transmission advantage.
The subvariant has already become dominant in 10 countries. It appears to escape immunity created by the COVID-19 vaccines. The only good news is that it appears a booster shot restores 74% more protection after you get infected.
Check out traffic right now with your traffic authority. This is 410 at Jackson Keller, and you can see it's heavy out there, but traffic is moving smoothly in both directions, at least in this part of 410.
Sunny outside today, and that's nice because we had a cool start to the day, right near freezing. 34 officially at the airport, but some outlying areas briefly dipped below freezing. That sun warmed us up to 63, which is 5 degrees below average for the day today. And readings right now are generally around the 60-degree mark, obviously into the lower 60s in some spots. Burning right now, 61 degrees, but near Livonia, 59, and New Braunfels at 60. This evening, have a jacket ready because temperatures are going to fall very quickly. By 8 o'clock, near 50 degrees, 10 o'clock in the 40s, and then another cool start to the day tomorrow. And we'll talk about who's likely to hit freezing in just a little bit and get ready for another big temperature swing in the forecast. We'll detail in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Still ahead at 5, consider this: an airless tire for your car. 2 companies are working on the concept. Which car they plan to roll them out on, coming up.
And the U.S. avocado woes are over. A ban on imported avocados lifted. We're going to tell you more next.
Hi, I'm Stefania Jimenez coming to you from the KSAT newsroom, and stick with us because at 6 o'clock we're going to talk about human smuggling. We have seen a lot of that recently. Just yesterday, 9 people were taken into custody as investigators stopped a human smuggling operation in southwest Bexar County. They also found more than a dozen immigrants. So what happens to those people now? Well, we're going to speak with an immigration attorney about that. Also, a family's frustration. Their loved one has been missing for more than 2 years. She went on vacation in Fort Worth and never came back home. And now her family is taking matters into their own hands to see if they can get her back. All that and so much more tonight on the news at 6.
I'll see you then. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, great news today for avocado lovers. The ban on avocados imported from Mexico has been lifted. The U.S. Embassy announcing today that avocados can resume being imported into the U.S. without inspections. They were halted last week after one U.S. inspector received a death threat in Michoacan. This means consumers and restaurant owners won't see higher prices just yet.
U.S. carbon emissions on the rise, and last year here, the power sector rose 7%. That's according to the Environmental Protection Agency. So what's the reason for this? Demand for more coal-fired electricity, apparently. 2021 also saw increases in nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide as compared to 2020. The EPA is now saying these findings show the U.S. needs to support a cleaner power sector. Thousands of Teslas could be affected by an issue with the phantom braking system. It's when the vehicle just stops with no warning while in autopilot mode. And the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is looking into this. The agency says it has received more than 350 complaints about the so-called braking from the phantom braking. 416,000 Tesla Model 3s and Model Ys from 2021 and 2022 could be affected.
All right, check this out. The Michelin Tire Company is working with General Motors to create airless tires. They're expected to go on updated Chevy Bolt electric cars, which will hit the market within the next few years.
Advantages are obvious. No air in your tires includes no longer worrying about air leaks.
How long will they last, though, might be the big question there.
And does one portion of them maybe like break down and get dented in? And
well, that's what it looked like from that picture. It looked like it's squished down. So, like, what's that going to do for your ride?
Well, it probably comes back out, but over time, we're skeptical. Okay. Yeah. We need to move on. You know, we can talk about this for, we get into these things, right? Don't we?
It's a new gadget.
Exactly. We like to think about this stuff and talk about it. We have a lot of weather on the way. Not so much this weekend. It's a chilly night tonight. Grab a jacket if you're venturing out this evening. Temperatures falling quickly. 60s for afternoon highs this weekend, but then a big temperature swing into next week. Let's talk about it all. And even some rain chances coming, but as you can tell by my demeanor, I'm not very confident in them. First, I'll look at our February. After a cool January, this February so far is more than 5 degrees below average. The coldest we've been is 21 degrees. That was on the 4th. The warmest, 80. That was on the 16th. But I do think we'll get warmer than that as we get into next week. Right now, mainly clear, 62. Yeah, it's comfortable, especially with that sunlight on you. But once that sun sets, temperatures falling fast. A dew point of 24 and not much of a breeze. So ideal radiational cooling tonight. Whole state, 50s and 60s. 65 Laredo, 55 Abilene, El Paso right now at 57 degrees, and Hondo meanwhile at 65. So tomorrow morning, just like earlier today, right near freezing for most of us, but obviously the typically cooler locations and areas outside of the city, right at and slightly below freezing. So even just on the north side of town, probably briefly hitting freezing. Bernie even 30 degrees, Lake Hill's about 32. You get the idea. Close to freezing, so just take the precautions just in case for the pets and plants. Everything else should be okay. By tomorrow afternoon, we get into the 60s. Leon Springs, 66, along with Elmendorf. Mid-60s tomorrow, mid-60s again on Sunday. Look at Monday and Tuesday. We get a surge of warmer air. So we're talking 80s, low to mid-80s Monday and Tuesday. There's always a but. Cold front hits, and look what happens. We drop a good 40 degrees at least. That's the way it's looking right now from Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday afternoon of next week. I know a lot of us are just focused on the weekend right now, but if you're trying to plan next week out, get ready for that big temperature drop as we get into Wednesday. Luckily, it's not going to be coming with any extreme low temperatures or any extreme cold in terms of freezing conditions, just a brief light freeze with that. Quiet weather pattern right now. We actually have a little swirl near San Francisco. That little swirl is going to drop southward, and it's basically going to help throw some Pacific moisture our way on Sunday. So turning gray on Sunday, increasing clouds on Sunday, and then a favorable pattern for precipitation into next week, just not for us. Another situation with a big dip and a digging trough in the western U.S. They're just not digging far enough to the south to really give us good rain chances. The rain chances are all good to the north of us. So we're looking at a 20 to 30% chance as we get into next week. Tomorrow, a lot of sunshine, east-northeasterly breeze at 5 to 10. Again, near freezing in the morning, 60s by the afternoon. Sunday morning, not as cool at 42 degrees with the increasing clouds. And there's that big temperature swing next week from the mid-80s on Tuesday to near 40 on Wednesday. Oh, and also breezy too, of course, when we cool down. I mean, it never just comes with cold air. You got to combine it with the wind.
Yeah. Once again, thanks so much, Adam.
All right, we have Manu news, or should we say Manus?
Well said. And by the way, I'm one of those guys that believes that both Manu and Becky both belong in the Basketball Hall of Fame. They were both up to be finalists today. Who actually made the final cut before they vote in to the call to the Hall? And also, COTA, that's the Circuit of the Americas track up in Austin, has a new extension with Formula One coming up. Four-time NBA champion, Olympic gold medalist Manu Ginobili has just become a finalist for the Hall of Fame. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame just announced their class of 2022 finalists at the All-Star festivities in Cleveland. And Manu Ginobili in his first year of eligibility, and why not? He helped lead the Spurs to 4 NBA titles starting in 2003, continuing along with his teammates Tim Duncan, Tony Parker to win 3 more in 05, 07, and their last in 2014 after back-to-back trips to the finals with Miami. He was also an international basketball star, winning a EuroLeague title, an Olympic gold medal for his home country, Argentina, in 2004, introducing his Euro step to the league when the Spurs made him a second-round draft pick in 1999. Now his jersey hangs in the AT&T Center. The Honors Committee will have the final say. Current Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammon will not join Manu as a finalist for the class of 2022 after she was passed over again today, despite the fact Hammon is a 6-time WNBA All-Star and her 16-year WNBA career that included 8 seasons with the San Antonio Stars before retirement in 2014. She was voted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame just a few days ago. Before that, was named one of the WNBA's 25 greatest and most influential players last year, finishing her career with more than 3,000 points and 800 assists, but no call to the Hall today. The Spurs officially are on their All-Star break, will not suit up again until February the 25th when they resume the rodeo road trip on the East Coast. It will give them a chance to settle in on the new players that will finish the season after Derek White was shipped to Boston in return for Romeo Langford, Josh Richardson, and a protected first-round draft pick. Richardson did not expect to see any action on the court until after the All-Star break, but that was not the case when Pop threw him in against the Thunder in Oklahoma City during the last game of their first half of the rodeo road trip and made his first shot, which turned out to be a three-pointer in the Spurs' 114-106 victory.
No, I was pleased with him. He's a veteran, so it's basketball, so he knows how to play. But he moved the ball, he played defense. I thought for just walking in the door, he did a fine job.
All right, here's that matchup when they do return. That will be on the East Coast against the Washington Wizards on February the 25th. The Circuit of the Americas in Austin announced today they have reached a 5-year contract extension on their agreement with F1. Popularity of the sport is growing in the United States, as evident of the 100,000 attending in the first year here in Texas, up to 400,000 this past year, following 1 year off due to COVID. There had been concern since Miami was going to host F1 starting this May. And we have 2 big games for you tonight in girls high school basketball playoffs here. Steele against Cedar Ridge, that'll be at 6 o'clock. Clark against Vista Ridge at 8 p.m. That's live on our BGC app, courtesy of Texas Sports Productions. That's all coming from Buda Johnson. I have all the highlights for you tonight on the Night Beat after the 6 o'clock show tonight.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
And we'll be right back. Thanks for watching the news at 5 with us.
World News up next. We'll see you right back here at 6.